Next question is about capability plot. What is that? Here we have a simple answer. This is a set of diagrams which describes the vessel station keeping ability at certain weather conditions in a certain weather situation and in some actual location. And normally capability plots are prepared for specific vessel at the simulation using with the sister ship project for results obtaining during the simulation. And the capability plots are actually diagrams or envelope of diagrams which gives us information for planning about operational limits and about the capability of the vessel. And DP vessel class 2 or 3 must have the capability plot envelopes as a set of documents or supportive documents for planning of operations in certain location. Hard copy of DP capability plots are relevant to the vessel areas of operation to be readily accessible to DPOs at the DP control location. Capability plots to be validated, recalculated as required to ensure that they are suitable for the environmental conditions where the DP operations are to take place, in particular in respect of current, speed, and force of wind and current. These theoretical plots are calculated from detailed information of the vessel's hull and superstructure form and available thrust power. The calculation should use environmental data, sea state, wind and current, appropriate to the area in which the DP vessel is to operate. These plots should show the limiting wind speed 360-degree envelopes for the scenarios below, where each point on the envelope represents the wind speed at which it is calculated that the vessel will be unable to maintain position in DP. DP capability plots should include the following scenarios at current speeds of 0 knots, 1 knot, and 2 knots, or at other current speeds that are representative of the location in which the DP vessel is to operate. And next cases must be taken in account: fully intact power generation and thruster, then separate envelope for loss of most effective thruster, and separate envelope for following the worst case failure. At my presentation I use only one example when we have fully intact power generation and thrusters, where all thrusters are working 100% correctly and okay. But in real life you will have, per each typical case, at least 3 scenarios, like current 0, current 1 knot, current 2 knots, then loss of most effective thrusters, or worst case failure, or vessel working in full order and okay. And please remember that when you analyze the capability plots, then you may plan the expected weather criteria for your vessel, and you may plan the expected position holding ability for your vessel. So this is important document as a part of informative and supportive papers on board of DP vessel. And on my example I have one typical case, as I said you, where on polar plotter you have wind and speed in knots, and wind and current are working from the same direction on my case. In your real life, you may meet different scenarios for different angle of attack for the wind and current. But here on my plot, the wind and current are working from the same side. Let's analyze the graphical diagram what I have in my example. So I have three typical cases here, you see, for the current 0, for the current 1 node and current 2 nodes. And in my case, all thrusters are working okay. I have 100% all thrusters normally operational. You have to bear in mind that sometimes 80% of thrust is considered on the diagrams in capability plots. Then, this is a relative diagram. It means if acting from direction 0, I mean relative wind, or wind works just in front of my bow, then I have huge capability. But if the wind working from the sector 45 degrees, and if the current is 2 nodes, and both of them are from the same direction in my case, then my capability is like wind speed 10 knots. After that, the vessel will not be able to hold the position. And the current would be 0, then the wind acting from the sector 45 could give me what? Capability about 40 knots. So in that case, I could resist the wind value as a 40 knots. This is how to use the DP capability plots. And remember, this is a set of supportive documents on board of DP vessel.